You guys, I swear, you guys too fast. Too fast. Hi Orange, hi Pokey, hi Llama. How are you doing? It is good to see you. Thank you for the stretch, the hydrate, and the cheese. Wow, and the head pat. How are you guys doing? Woo! Happy Tuesday. Okay, stretch, hydrate. Oh, guess what? I have Dr. Pepper today. I have Dr. Pepper, so I'm gonna hydrate with some Dr. Pepper. Yum, yum, yum. I'm so happy. I kind of had a bad day at work today, so I need the Dr. Pepper to help me be emotionally stable. The hardest song that you can possibly do at this moment. Wait, okay, wait, which game mode? Which game mode, though? What game mode should we start today? Oh, wait, wait, can I respond? How do I respond? What game mode? What kind of game mode? Because whatever the game mode will be, we'll play for a bit. I need to warm up my hands too, because I'm really cold. It's so cold today. I am like freezing so much. The harder one I get. The harder one. Wait. Maybe Taiko? No. Okay. Okay. No. It's okay. Okay. Yeah. Standard. Okay. Okay. Wait. Like the hardest one that I could like pass. Is that what you mean? Wait. Okay. Like what's something I could like pass if I grinded? Oh wait. Okay. Let's see. The 4.5 is too high. Okay, no fail. Wait. So this is the highest map that I've passed on standard. So should I go with the one above it and try and pass this without using no fail? That's such a warm up though. That's gonna kill my fingers. Okay, wait. Okay, I'm gonna try and pass this map without mods. Okay. Okay, that's my contribution. Because if I played the hardest map, that's not gonna work. But yeah, the hardest one I've beaten. Well, that's this one. The one above it. So I try and do better. Oh my god, I could try. But it's a what's it called? It's a jump training thing. I really guess we could try. Okay. My hands are cold though. Okay. Stop. Okay. Yeah, happy Tuesday. I hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you're feeling happy, healthy, and cheesy, and all good vibes all around. Oh, you got this. Thank you. I have to like... Wait, I need to have my seat up. I need to have my legs up. I can't play if my legs aren't... if my legs are touching the floor, I can't play. That's illegal. Okay, wait. I'm not procrastinating. I need to get comfy. Okay. We're gonna do this. Yeah. You've got your back to the wall. Oh, okay, wait. Let me put my glasses on. Because I can't see. Okay, there we go.
got your back to You've got your back to the wall. You've got your back to the wall. Free fall, rescued by everlasting hands. Yeah.
Oh.
You've got your back to the wall. You've got your back to the wall. Free fall, rescued by everlasting hands. Yeah. Again. And when you back in the days, and when you back in the days, and right face, happy that my life's been embraced. And I swear your eyes were looking nice, and in your eyes I realized that humans rising. And I take you by your hand, hope that you understand that you're longing for the one that you're longing for is the part of so free.
Oh, that was rubbish. That was rubbish because my hands are cold. That was cruel. That was cruel making me start that. That was cruel making me start by doing something that was way too cold for me. Oh, okay, okay. We need to actually like be sensible heads now. Okay? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, just pretend I'm gaming. Pretend I'm gaming so hard right now. Yeah, my fingers are so cold. How cold is it for you guys right now? What's the temperature like? Oh, like I was so cold at work today. Like I was actually thought I was gonna like collapse. And thank you for the hydrate orange. I appreciate it. And thank you for doing the song. You can't. You can't what? Drink your dog's pepper. Yummy, yummy. Okay. 2 degrees, I believe. Ooh, okay. That's pretty nippy. Actually, wait, what's the temperature for me? I think it's cold. Oh, it's 0. It's wait, it's actually 0. It's 0. It's 0. That's why I'm cold, because it's 0. Wait, I'm gonna put a blanket on now. Yeah, I was like, my hands are cold. That might be why. You feel that? You feel that for real? It's nippy. It's nippy, chilly, and freezing. Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, that would do it. Shocker. Nippy and Dee. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want snow though. I want snow so badly. I will be so happy if I had snow. I will actually like. I don't know. I might have like a party if it snowed. And apparently, when I was at work the other day, I mean, I was like, oh, it was like, oh, it was snowing, but because it's wet, it doesn't like stick to the floor. And I was like, what? I didn't see it because I was at work, so I'm sad. So, yeah. How dare I work? A few days ago, and it was snowed. Wait, how much snow did you get? Oh, just stick. Yeah. I snowed yesterday. It was a lot. Wait, I'm so jealous. How much snow was it? Oh my goodness. 4 in a row? Oh! Oh my goodness! What? I just have the driveway too on the hill. Oh my god. I am so jealous. Oh, every time I see a picture of people like, oh, it's snowy, and I'm just like, I'm filled with envy. I'm like, my blood is boiling. I'm like, please, why can't that be me? I'm not an envious person. I don't think. I don't think I'm envious, but I just want snow. Oh, it's good. I'll share it with you. Please, please. I would be happy. I will take it off your hands, and I will make a little snowman, and he will live in my bed. People in Buffalo. Is that place? Buffalo. Many feet. Oh, many feet. So, I wanted to snow. Wait, I can make it snow. I can make it snow. Yeah, I can actually make it snow. Watch. Wait, do I have this still? Imagine if I didn't have this. That'll be awkward. I'll be like lying to you guys. Wait. Yeah, I can make it snow. Get ready. It will snow. Look! I told you I can make it snow. I got the power. Should we just have it snowing? Should we just have it snowing? How could I make it snow? It doesn't. Imagine if it didn't. I'll be awkward. I'll be like, "Oh, watch this, guys," and nothing happens. Yes, yes, yeah. Keep it on. It's cute. It's cute. It's what I want it to be right now. Okay, I'm manifesting snow for myself. Yes, that's gonna work. Be kind of funny. We're awkward. I'll just be there smiling like, and then nothing would happen. Wait, it might be distracting though, so I might switch it off in a minute. Ah! Wah! We meet once again. Some hi, that guy. How you doing? You're quite excitably. How about just a oh excitably? I mean, exquisite. That's good to hear. That's good. That's good. Also, do you like the snow? Do you like the snow? We're feeling snowy today. We could. Should we switch the snow off? Okay, vote yes or no. Switch snow off. Snow off. Wait. Actually, should I make a poll? I haven't made a poll in so long. Should I make a poll? Wait. How do I do it again? Oh my gosh, I haven't done this in so long. Snow? Question mark. Yes. No. There. Vote for snow or not snow. That is the question. I have no snow. Okay, we have a poll. Whoa, shocker, we have a poll. I haven't had that in like my Undertale days. I love the snow. Wish we had it in here in real life though. Me too, me too, me too. I want snow. I really do. I will actually, if I would have a party if it was snowing, but sadly I don't have snow. Yeah, Llama's willing to share his snow with us. So, yeah, just ask Llama and he'll give us some snow. Because they're very kind like that. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day. Hope you're feeling happy, healthy, and cheesy. Also my hands are really cold. So I'm trying to warm my hands up. Cause it's not fun. You got too much? How could you have too much snow? How could you have too much? I disagree. 10,000. Thank you for contributing 10,000 cheese points again over stream challenge. That's crazy. But with forever delays. I've kind of another moment of suspense. I call upon thee, dear son, but to reveal thy verdict. Oh, wait, yeah, that's actually, yeah, I should too. I should too. Because words came out, but nothing was actually spoken. I've had so much cheese today. So if it says I'm not cheesy, I'm actually saying that's a lie because I've had lots of cheese. So how cheesy am I? No, that's a lie. I am cheesier than that. I've had cheese. I've had so much cheese. That guy's cheesier than me. So is Llama. What the cheese? That's rude. I think that's offensive. I can't believe this. Shaking my head. Shaking my head. I can't believe this. Over 900 again. And there's me like... I have nothing. I have nothing. Choppy! It's Choppy! It's Choppy! Oh my gosh, guys, do you remember what I said about Choppy the other day? Everybody clap for Choppy! Hi Choppy, how you doing? Who is Choppy? You're Choppy! I was talking about you the other day. And I told my dad about you. So, Choppy is awesome. Choppy is doing things. He's going places. You were, yeah. I told him about you and Eve, which is so sweet. Ah, but yeah, congratulations again on your engagement. What happened? Did so bad? No, never. I'm just happy for you. I'm just happy for you. You stopped by chance. Cheese fun factory today, so I couldn't help but eat some. No. Did you not get me any? That's rude. But yeah, how you doing, Troppy? It's good to see you. We've missed you. No, I would never say anything bad about anyone. Like, honestly, like, that's rude. That's rude. I would never. Like, yeah, being stinky is not good. But it's good to see you, though. Oh, you're doing wonderful. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that. I'm not doing too bad myself. Thank you. Thank you for asking. How's your day been? How's your week been? Hope it's been good. I stopped by to personally order 40 of his cheese wheels to be delivered to the city of Some. Yeah, and now where is it? I don't see it. I don't see the cheese. Show it to me. Show me the cheese. Otherwise I'll cry. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, do not be concerned. We are talking about cheese. But then again, when don't we? Uh, Your week's been okay. Apply for a new job. We can start next Tuesday. Whoa, nice. What kind of job are you going into? I think I'm still at the same job I last spoke to you about. I get quite a money. It's not too much work. Wow. Yeah. You know what? You know what? Get that money. Get that money. I am envious, definitely. Dad's having engine problems with his van. It's currently trying to fix it. Well, tell him to get good. But yeah, speaking of work, I have not had a good work day, but that's okay because now I am here. I am with my cheese empire, so life is okay. Life is okay when I have my cheese friends. My hands are cold. Oh, poo. That was very stinky. Work was tiring for me. 8 hours of work and 3 hours of sleep is killing me. Oh no. Oh no, you got this though. Got this. Work may be stinky, but you got this. Yeah. Imagine if work was amazing. What if you liked your job? Oh, one day hopefully I like my job. You know what? All I'm saying is like, for myself, you know, you gotta motivate yourself. You know, you're like, you know what? If I just make it until like this certain point, then I can do it. I can do anything. Like right now, I'm telling myself, I'm making it until I get qualified, and then when I get qualified, then I can leave my job and then find something better. And then that's what I'm just saying to myself. So hopefully, like you can say something motivating to yourself that will help you. Yeah. Because when in doubt, motivate yourself. Will do. I bet. Oh, wait, is Snow gonna win? Wait, Snow won! Orange spent 100 cheese point on Snow. Okay, I guess we're keeping the Snow. Yeah, we're gonna look at Snow for a bit. Yeah. We're gonna pretend it's actually snowing in real life, even though it's not. I mean, it might be for you, but it's not snowing for me. But you know, we can imagine. We can imagine. I know right now it's gonna be about hassle tomorrow because there's a free storage workers has a day off tomorrow. For his birthday. Oh no. Aha. Ah, I see. I see. Oh no, I got. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck. You got this. So you got this. It'll be good. It'll be good. Oof. Yeah. That's all I can say is good luck. You do your best. I believe you. I believe it. I believe you will do your best. And if I believe you, then everybody believes. So, oh no, I'm doing rubbish, but I'm gonna blame it on my cold hands. Ah! My hair! Who took my hair? Thank you for making me bold. I'm an angel with a shotgun, but I'm bold. Angel with a bold gun, gonna have a bold head. Honestly, my head may be big, but that's because it's full of clever things, because I am clever. I'm not. I'm an angel. Ah, thank you for the cheese. Give me that cheese right now. Yum 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 yum. The cheese gun. Yeah. Yeehaw. A surprise, the white box has appeared. Hi, box boy, how you doing? Welcome in. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a good day. It's good to see you. How's it been? How's it been? Yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Tuesday. Hope you're feeling Tuesday. Oh wait, let's make myself smaller. Pop, pop, pop. Oh, you can't see me. Am I too small? I don't know. I can't tell. I always never know how big I should make myself. Should I just have a head? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. How much of my body do you guys want to see? Like, do you want to see my shoulders or do you just want to see my head? Like, I don't know. How does one be a VTuber? I know it's up to me, but I can never figure it out. I can never figure out what feels The best. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 da, ba. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 do. Ba, 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 da, ba. I think I'll be my personal best though. Yay! Ba, 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 da, ba, da. Ba, 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 ba. Do, 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 yeah, background is awesome. Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. But the thing is, I end up getting really distracted by the background because, like, I'm like a child. I'm like, oh, pretty colors. Let me let me just pay attention to the pretty colors instead of what I'm doing. But sometimes I can't help myself. I need to watch Jujutsu Kaisen on the way through. I couldn't get into it personally. Like, I like the music though. That's cool. Got a message from Dan. Dan the man. You found a problem and fix it at the dawn or tomorrow. No, I have to do it right now. No excuses. We live in a society. I need things now, or we're never gonna have them. Ouch. Ouch. Ouchie. Ouchie. I did it though. Woo! Woo! I'm gonna have to work hard on this bar. He's asleep on the trip. No, he doesn't need sleep. You don't need sleep. Nobody needs sleep. I don't need sleep, so you don't need sleep. I'm joking. Hello, Anonymous. How you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. Wait, is that cheese? Is that cheese? I love cheese. That's crazy. How you doing? Boo to Dan sleep. Yeah, right? Right? How dare Dan sleep? Dan, what are you doing? Get up. Get out of bed. It's time to get that cheese. I'm joking. Am I? I don't know. If you're gonna sleep, don't forget to use cardboard. Oh yes, oh yes. My favorite thing to do. Got home like 5 minutes ago. I got home from work like three-ish hours ago. Well, actually, I finished work at 6. But I always like get out of work around like 6:15. Sometimes closer to 6:30, and then I get home. Well, I get home around 6:30ish most days. But yeah, how was your day at work? How was your day at work? Was it good? I hope so. I hope so. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Working. Imagine working. Oh, look at that. 83%. Nice. Ba, 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 ba. Communication. We had to wait for a replacement for wristbands. Something his friend will deliver an hour in the morning. Oh, okay. It's alright for me 6:30. Sick, not sick enough to call off. Oh no! No, that's the worst. Oh no, I feel like everyone's getting poorly lately. I don't want to get poorly because everyone around me is getting poorly, and I just can't be poorly. I refuse. But hopefully you do feel better soon. And hopefully it doesn't get worse. So you got this. BRB, gotta have some carpets from the road. Oh, okay. Take care, Llama. You got sick twice now. No, unlucky. I've actually never taken a sick day off work. Like I refuse. Even if I'm dying, even if I'm on my period, I still won't take a day off. I'm a hardcore woman. He'll be on the road tomorrow morning, good, as he should be. One before the Christmas break and now. No. Oh, that's quite close together. Oh. I mean, it's that time of the year, to be fair. It is that time of the year. But hopefully it's not too bad. Hopefully it doesn't feel like you're dying. So you got this. I believe in you. Be sure to be sure to look after yourself though. Like, do not work yourself too much. And drink lots of juice that's good for you, and eat lots of fruit as well, because that will help. That will help. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. It was a runny nose and my eyes hurt from looking at a screen for more than 5 minutes. Oh no! I hate having that. That's awful. No, I get that. That's awful. Oh no. I know what you mean. I know what you mean because I also, when I feel poorly, I also have the same issue. Depends on the day. Today my runny nose and eyes are I'm looking for the knife. Comes to the soreness in the throat. No, you got this though. You got this. Just take lots of medicine as well. Ah. Runny nose being gone now. I mean, I have a little bit of a runny nose, to be honest. But like, you know, like I feel like you know, I mean, it's expected for me to have a runny nose, you know, like especially in the line of work kind of like, you know, when don't I have a runny nose? Let's be real. But I don't feel poorly, you know, like I feel fine. But maybe I'm just like, yeah, I refuse to be poorly. But you know, yeah, just be sure to look after yourself. That's all I can suggest. I don't feel poorly, and can we all just be happy? Yeah, yeah, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, Box. If you see a white old Mercedes van approaching the city walls, sure at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay. Okay. Do I know what a Mercedes is? That is the question. We'll find out. We'll find out. Da, 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 da. Oh, I finished my Dr. Pepper. It was so good. Oh my gosh. I love Dr. Pepper. It's so good. Delicious. Get another one now. No, no. If I had another Dr. Pepper, I will be bouncing off the walls. Oh my gosh. Hi. Woo! Hi, Kawaii Sam. Hi. Thank you for the raid. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's massive. That's massive. Oh my goodness. Welcome in. How you doing? What are we up to today? Wait, will you play Osu? Wait, let me have a look. Are you playing Osu? How you doing? Welcome in, Raiders. How you doing? I'm Sam. I really like cheese. And today we're talking about being poorly and snow. Yeah. How you doing? I hope you had a great stream. It is good to see you all. Yeah, you played Osu. Nice. How was Osu? Did you get any cool schools? And welcome in, Leafy and Yuki. And yeah. And thank you for the follow. Jayan, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. Oh, 300s? Whoa, that's crazy. I haven't even had anything that high before. That's insane. Wow, congratulations. You must be so proud of yourself. That's amazing. Wow. I am, you know, that's impressive. You guys should check that out, honestly. You play this game too much. Oh wow. Oh wow. One day maybe I will. But I do appreciate you so much for the raid again. Be sure, if you have to, be sure to go and eat, drink, and rest, and you know, do things what you gotta do. I appreciate you so much for the raid, and I've sent you lots of cheesy love. And be sure to send them kawaii lots of cheesy love, everybody, because that's very kind. Cheese, yeah, I love cheese. I love cheese. Cheese is great. Yeah, if you like cheese, then I think this place would be perfect for you. If you like cheese, what is it? Wait, what is your favorite cheese? Tell me your favorite cheese right now. Also, if you're confused why there's snow on the screen, I'm currently manifesting snow because I really want snow, and it's I don't have snow, but everybody that I know has snow and I want snow, so I'm manifesting. So yeah. Smoked Gouda. I mean, I like Gouda. Not a big fan of smoked cheese, but you know, respect. Oh yeah, that guy loves Huda. I guess you two would be friends. Oh, savage. Oh, I love Brie. Brie is so good. Oh my goodness. Oh yes, I love Brie. But I do not recommend going off Brie. That's not very nice. Mozzarella's good. Oh, do you love a good cheesy mozzarella pizza? Ooh. Oh, yeah. Pecorino and blue cheese. Okay. Okay, that is a taste. That is a taste. Well, do I agree? No, but that's okay. Real for Brie. Yeah, real for Brie. That's so real. I do love good. In fact, I'm gonna eat. Yeah, that's how I feel about blue cheese. I don't like blue cheese, but you know, we all can agree to disagree. But yeah. Also, I'm well, okay. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not very good at standard osu. Actually, I've recently like started to properly try and like improve on standard osu. I used to play taiko mostly. So, do not expect me to have good plays because I am trying. So, thank you. Thank you for your cooperation. Taiko game, yeah, I love Taiko. Taiko's great, but I want to get good at standard. Or not good, I just want to get better, you know? Like box cheese. Me too. Box cheese is my favorite. Yeah, when you find random cheese in a box, you just gotta eat it. Thank you for the follow, Leafy Touch on. I hope you're having a great and cheesy day. Okay. Why am I so embarrassed? Okay. I have to pretend that nobody's here. Nobody's here. You're not watching me. It's okay. I can do this. I don't have to be scared. Okay. I don't know why. I fear when people watch me. Okay. Okay. Wait. And boxes of cheese. Yeah, my favorite. Pretend we're all just sentient boxes of cheese. Yeah, I think that's what I gotta do. Okay. Yeah, you're not real. You guys are cheese. That's what I have to tell myself. I have to tell myself that the people on my screen are not real. They are cheese. That's how I can cope. Have a good stream, ssumbaka. I'm gonna take a break. Oh, no worries. Thank you again for the request. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great break. Send you lots of love and cheese. Meow. Yeah. Thank you again. Wah! I got a B! Woo! I got a B! Oh my gosh, I think it's the nerves. The nerves is making me get a B. You returned! Welcome back, that guy. How you doing? Fill the box of cheese? Wait. Hang on. Let me find. cheese. There you go. That's some cheese. I have given you some cheese. Da, 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 da. Yum. Yummy yum in my tongue. Now that that has been done, time to do some gum. No, I can't. I can't condone. I turned to Jilla Samba. No. I always say I can't condone, but then I'm like, you know what? Go for it. Maybe I'm a hypocrite. Wait, KG! KG! Hi, KG, how you doing? Thank you for the raid! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness. Hi, KG, how you doing? I just saw you from the corner of my eye. How you doing, KG? What were you playing today? It's good to see you. I didn't know you were streaming right now. Oh my goodness, how you doing? 767, cheesy. You're gonna keep gambling until you win big. Understandable. But it's good to see you. I hope you're having a great day, great stream, and a great life. Yeah. Yeah, Reed. Hi, how you doing? I see some live. I read. I was playing Osu. Oh wait, you're playing Osu? No way. Wait, which game mode was it? Catch? Did you play Catch today? Um, if so, did you have a good stream? Did you get any cool scores? Whoa, 977. Yes. Yes, I'm cheesy. Having a great day because I made it to a good stream. Yay! I'm glad. I'm glad. That makes me happy. That's awesome. Be sure, KG, to go eat, drink, and do what you gotta do. Wait, is it the afternoon for you right now? Or is it evening now? I don't know. But be sure to go and get yourself something to eat and drink. All in on black. You failed. You failed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be mean. I'm not mean. Ah, no. Okay, my excuse is that I got distracted by, yeah, I got distracted. Thank you for the cheese, Llama. That was also a spectacular win. You win some, you lose some. Thank you to Katie for contributing 4,000 cheers to the Getting Over Stream Challenge. Oh, I always forget about that. We're actually currently 30% of the way through. Woohoo! And thank you. Oh, wait, 800 cheese. 800 cheese, nice. Oh, do you guys want to hear a joke? Do you want to hear a joke? I'm gonna tell you a joke. Okay, you ready? Hey, I'll tell you a joke about a piece of paper, but it's terrible. Haha. That's so funny. Why aren't you laughing? Why aren't you laughing? Please laugh. Please laugh. You're actually laughing though. It doesn't look like it. You need to be howling. Start howling on the floor. Thank you, KG. I can see KG is the one who's participating. Thank you. Thank you. I know at least somebody thinks I'm hilarious. You know, 800 is a nice number. It may not be high, but it's nice. It is nice. 800 is good, nice, round, whole, filling number. Woo woo! Wait, every time I see things that like look like woohoo, it reminds me of The Sims 4. Or like, no, not Sims 4, just The Sims in general. Like, you know, woohoo. Sorry, pardon me. That was a burp. That was a burp. Sorry. Enough gambling today. Good, good, good. I'll give you a warm laugh, but I'm a cardboard, so I'm cold. Wait, cardboard? Cardboard keeps you warm though, so it would be warm. 10 out of 10 burp. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank you. It was the Dr. Pepper because I had like a pint of Dr. Pepper, because I have I was gonna say an addiction, but I haven't had Dr. Pepper in like 2 weeks, so only a pint. Yeah, only a pint. I could go buy the. Wait, that would be expensive. That would be expensive. I'm like a car. I need to be fueled. Are you a single singer? No! No, I will pass this map. I will pass this map. I'm sorry about your pain, Mr. Clown. We are gonna have to cut you off your Dr. Pepper. No, I can't. I can't. I won't. I refuse to be cut off. You're literally a 3x3 cube centimeter of Gouda cheese and a Dutch cocktail stick stuck to the top, and I have no idea what I'm even typing right now. No, that's true. That's true. That guy is actually cheese. Yeah. That's actually a fact. There's actually photo proof to go by it. I'm just a box of real Dr. Peppy. Oh my goodness. That's funny. I ate so much Gouda, I became Gouda. Oh my gosh. But are you Gouda enough? Oh, okay, I need to stop. Okay. Woo! I did it! I passed! Woo! Yay! Yippee! Oh. Sifu, how you doing? Welcome in. Hope you're having a good day. It was a cheesy joke, not gonna lie. Yeah, I am cheesy. I am very cheesy. I go cook it. I know. I'm surprised too. I'm shaking. I'm a leaf. Not cheesy. I've got. I only tell my jokes in 3 cheeses or more. Wow. Come Betty up here. Woo! Yippee! I actually love that little guy. That guy's so cute. 9 misses. Yeah, yeehaw. Also, should we get rid of the snow now? Should we get rid of the snow? I think we've manifested the snow long enough. Okay, we've had enough snow. There we go. It's gonna be normal sun. Normal sun! Maybe we'll bring out the snow again later. I can't sleep? Your can't stop mapping, man. Addiction. How's it going? How's it going? Is it going good? I'm bold! Ah! Thank you for stealing my weave. And hello, Ninja Juju. How you doing? No more Jolly Sam. Nope, nope, nope. Not anymore. We're serious. It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas. It's Cheesemas. The day after Christmas is Cheesemas. I don't know. I'm lying actually. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm scared. But yeah, how are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. It's good to see you. It's Tuesday. Woo! Everyone's surprised I'm streaming on a Tuesday. I actually rarely stream on Tuesdays, so this is kind of crazy for me. I don't know. I don't know what I was saying. I think I'm a bit nervous. I was 4.27. Nice. Sasuke! I saw your New Year message a week too late. Oh no! Oh no! You actually did see it. It's okay. It's okay. I'm glad you did see it though. So that makes me happy. I'm glad somebody saw it. It's okay though. I just wanted to wish everybody a happy New Year. Because, you know, New Year, new cheese. My life isn't easy being a cube of Gouda, constantly wary of potential possibility that the sun might be hungry and wants to eat cheese. Many of my brethren have fallen into such fate. It remains unknown when my time will be. Well, the more you say that, the more likely I'm gonna, like, consume. That's very specific. That's very specific. Okay, we're gonna game. I promise we're gonna game. We're gonna game for real. rude. Ah! Oh, I will win. I will win. She'll never look in the box. What do you mean? I will look in a box. I look in every single box that looks like cheese. But yeah, do take care. Remember me? Ah! Why was that so extreme? For a biddy. Thanks for the biddy. Lolly, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day. I'm hilarious, actually. I am so funny. I should be a comedian. Yeah. Hee 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 hee. Yeah, I hope I'm having a good day. Okay, I will pass. Okay, I'm gonna pass this map. Okay? Okay. Like, I know I can pass it. I just have to stop failing. Thank you. I needed that. Whoa! I passed the map. I might be lucky enough to be consumed today. Must be wary though. You only know it's your time when it's already too late. Stay strong, my brethren. Even though many of us are falling, we stand united. Well, the more you say that, the more likely you got eaten. So you should be careful and just like, you know, not say a word. When in doubt, stay silent. I think that's your only hope. Stay silent or else they're gonna come for you. And that's not gonna be good. Why can I see you coming down the block good in Iron Man's? Because it's gonna happen, that's why. Yeah. Maybe. Uh You'll be able to roll a lot. I'm gonna cry. This is so silly. Wait, Avenger pose. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh my gosh, can you actually? That would be so cool. Kind of. I don't want to fail. My wrist hurts. Is that normal? Societal. Societal? Is that what I said? I meant to say society. Wait, did I say society? I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying, to be honest. I am. Please don't break the window. They see it's on. She has what she listens to her favorite music. Me every day. Oh! Oh! So got the second. Oh, Sasageo. Close enough. Oh no, I'm so bad. Fail! Ah! Ba, 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 ba. It's so cute. It's so cute, right? I love it. It's so cute. We live in a society. Don't get distracted. You know, well, I think it's a bit too late because I was distracted because I was too busy looking at the dances and it's so cute. I love when cute people dance. It's adorable. I love it. I love it. It was cute. I love it. I love it. I love it. You're a human. You have a wait. You have a human disguise. Oh wait, I'm gonna try and pass this map. I actually need to pass this map. All of us do. It is only when we assume our natural forms that we are vulnerable. However, you have seen my human form, so you cannot go unnoticed. You might just start spawn camping. What's spawn camping? I think we are all secretly just a block of cheese. Yeah. Like you patiently wait for the disguise to run out. Yeah, and then when that disguise does run out, you know what's gonna happen next? I'm gonna consume. Okay. Whoa! Oh my gosh! Wait! I did it! I did it! Oh my gosh, I wasn't even thinking that much. Whoa! I did it! I wasn't even... Whoa! I did it! That's crazy. Whoa! Whoa! Don't forget the best. Hello, Signal! How you doing? Thank you for the stretch and hydrate. Oh, wait, let me... I hope you're having a good Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Yum. Yummy, yummy. And my tummy. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good day. How's your week been so far? Must say visual, I see. I'm not consumed. That's hard. That's hard though. Also, Signal is actually cheese as well. They are also cheese. So that's kind of cool because that's like, I always get so excited when I see any cheese VTubers. I instantly have to like befriend them. She's she's excited. I also said the height. That yeah, that could be it too. So far so good. I hope your day is going well. It is, thank you. It is. It's so amazing. Well, no, it wasn't amazing. I'm saying it's amazing because it's amazing now. I had work today and it wasn't that amazing, but I'm doing good. I'm a lot better now. You're nice. Cheese does not stand alone. Exactly. That's what I like to see. When cheese stands together and fights, it is a beautiful sight. 88%. That's cool. I'm gaming. I can't do that song again. If I have to play that song again, I'll die. The cheese unite, stand strong. Yes. You know it. You know it. Cheese together, stay together. That's the fact. You have to make dinner, be lucky, and I hope the rest of the stream goes well. Thank you, thank you. I hope you have a cheesy dinner. And I will catch you around. Take care. Have awesome foodies. Christmas. Oh wait, is this a Christmas song? Maybe I should delete the Christmas songs. Ba, 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 ba. Whoa! I'm doing this. Oh my gosh, I'm gaming so hard today. It's crazy. Don't punch your walls. Don't be silly. That's not good. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. That's what I'm saying. Just... yeah, don't. Because your hand is important. Yeah. Don't do that. Should we tell a joke to lighten up the mood? Let's tell a joke about cheese. Why did the wheel of cheese take a vacation? It needed to de-stress and find its inner peace. I don't know. That's not very good. Okay. Uh, hilarious. Hilarious stuff. Ooh, okay. Why did the painting go to jail? Because it was framed. Oh my goodness. Don't you hate it when that happens? Wait! 91% love for some. Wait. Wait. Love for everyone. Love for everyone. Ah, okay. I have 95% love for everybody. Okay, that's how nice I am. Everybody is amazing. The other 9%. Yeah. True. The other 5%. Well, you don't want to know who the 5% are. Ugh. Oh my goodness, this is hard. Whoa. Whoa. I can think of something the 5% is, but that is a confirmation of my fear. Yeah, I fear you shouldn't. Should say because there's 5%. They're not my besties. Yeah, the 5%. They're the banned ones. Oh, I love this song. Oh my gosh, this song is like... This song is peak Osu. This is like one of the first songs I played on Osu, I think. I think I keep saying that about a lot of them, but I'm pretty sure this is one of mine. Love cheese. Cheese is always going to be 100% though. My love, see, my love for cheese will also be a 100%. See, I have so much love for cheese. No! 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 No, I will pass. I will pass. 4% love for your breath. Was not expecting that. Some boy lying. Some boy doesn't. Wait, my love for my cheeses. What? Wait. You know earlier that it said, like, I said that I had 95% love for everybody, but that 5% is my cheeses. So what does that mean for my cheeses? Wait. This is catastrophe. 95 is the hunger. The hunger for everybody. Oh my gosh. See how it is? No. I don't know. Okay, we're gonna try this again. Ah, I'm doing rubbish right now. Okay, I need to do this again. I will pass. We're due to Gouda. Yeah. Yeehaw. Whoa! Ah! Oh, that scared me. That scared me. I actually thought I wasn't gonna make that then, but I did, so that's awesome. Let's go! Let's go! 5 times the charm. 5 times is the charm. Let's go! Let's go! Oh, actually, I think I still have my Christmas emotes that I have, like, just remembered. So I should, like, replace some of them. Wait, can I replace them while I'm streaming? I don't know. Oh sweet, oh sweet. How could I not place my faith in my brethren? Those who have fought valiantly in our cause, those who have steadfast beside us, and those who now rest in a better place, all united under one noble goal, to save one another from the revenant strides who lost of our cherished chief. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not saying anything. But I can say that maybe it was deserved. Maybe it was deserved. Maybe you guys had to take it in order for me to be cheesy. I don't know. Okay, I think that's them. I can't actually remember what emotes I have. The purpose of cheese. That's crazy. Oh, I still have some ups. Yeah, I'll sort that out later. It's fine. We can have some Christmas emotes. Ah! Ah! I can't. Ah! Oh! I can do this. I need to focus. I need to focus. Are you bullying me, llama? Okay. I can do this. I can do this. I can do this. Oh my gosh, that guy! You're sending in like a whole power. This full purpose sacrifice every lives, so we might not endure. Press onwards of existence and the valor. So many TARDIS were such worse they did not deserve the fate they have succumbed. The sacrifices was noble, yet they're most undeserved. That's straight out from The Witcher. My gosh, we can make a Witcher moment out of the cheese, and the cheese couldn't be like, you know, like one of those like evil people come after them when I'm riding my horsey. Yippee! Yippee! I passed! Woo! I did it! I got a B! Whoa! The summon hunting cheese and the cheese started to unite and defend for itself. I can see that. The fact that I can see that happening scares me. And they just say mean things. Oh, that's true. That's true. They can say mean things. That also happens in The Witcher when they just like, I'm just walking around and they just say something horrible out, like, and then I'm just there like, what? Why would you say that? That's rude. But yeah, actually that could be true. The cheese starts to say. Was it that map? I don't know. It just seemed like it went up a load. Look, if someone was trying to eat me, I would absolutely let it be. Why? Just accept it. No, I'm joking. I have no idea, but I think so. Yeah, right? I was trying to see. Okay, I have to pay attention to how much PP I get. I have not been paying attention, to be honest, but it seemed like it went up. Nice. I'm not complaining. I love it when I'm getting good. Never surrender. Never give up. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Oh my gosh. Ah! That was so many crosses. But I still passed. Oh, yay! Wait. Oh, so that gave me 26. And that put up my ranking by 38. So it is helping it every so often. Which is crazy stuff. I'm surprised I got a B. I'll take it. That's awesome. Lost too many breath and resisted too much. Just surrender now. There'll be a there will rise a flag, and that shan't be white. Too many cheeses failed by enemies. Wait, am I the enemy? Wait, I don't want to be the enemy. Oh, I don't like that map. I'm deleting this map. It scares me. It's too scary for me. Oh wait, I can't remember the name. Sorry, I just didn't like the vibes. The vibes said no.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Bernice, and I'll be serving you today. What can I get for you? A drink? Some snacks? Oh, a little flames! Mocktails exercise. The snacks are real nice. Soda's how much dry. I'm lit, you can't deny. Wherever you want, wherever you need. So could you never, ever want to leave? Anything that you desire, set it on fire. I'll make you spend your days all away. That's my desire. You know there is no one left to say. 3, 2, 1, fire! Furnace, 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 go, go! Furnace, 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 oh, a little flames. Furnace, 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 go, go! Furnace, 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 watch it burn. I look kinda cute and nice and pleasant, but I kinda shop, feels smooth, look at her again. Watch out, let me pour you a drink. Let's think about messing with me, I'll enjoy it. So drink your drink, don't you run your mouth. Think about simplicity and think about that. Wanna push a little, okay. Burn you to ash, think twice before you play, play. I'll make you spend your days all away. That's my desire. You know there is no one left to say. 3, 2, 1, fire! Furnace, 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 go, go! Furnace, 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 oh, a little flames. Furnace, 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 go, go! Furnace, 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 watch it burn.
Ow, ow. That was ouchy. Very ouchy. Have you considered not trying to eat us? I mean, I don't know. That's nasty. Ew. Ew. No. Gross. I am. Ew. I can't even say that aloud because that is so gross. No. But I'm just gonna say no. I'm just gonna say no and run away and pretend my life is simple and happy and that the people aren't scary. Yeah.
3, 2, 1, fire!
Oh, that was a 4.5. That's why I was struggling so much. I was like,
Furnace, 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 go, go!
that's painful. That's probably why. I mean, I did it though.
A little flames.
That's me. Sorry. Okay, we need to struggle a little bit more. Oh, I see so many of this song. Okay, this is an iconic song. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. When in doubt, stay silent. Am I looking for hot? No, fail. Oh, this is 4.5. Ouch. This is gonna kill me, but I love this song. This is so nostalgic for me. But that's been happening to me so much lately. Why are people being strange? Who's been joking? It's actually the second time this week, and it's only Tuesday. It's only Tuesday. I can't believe it. I'm just... Okay, at least you apologized. Try not to cry. Live, laugh, love. I'm dying. Oh, is it the full version of the song? Ow. I didn't even realize. That's great. That's yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I should be a professional. Oh, Oh, hi Teddy. How you doing? Welcome in. Just ignore what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to destroy myself and also try and push myself. Yeah. Thank you for the head, Past Dog. How you doing? But yeah, it's okay. Just don't mention it. It's gone. We don't need to bring it up. It's fine, Llama. It's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm fine. It's fine. I appreciate you for being there though. We got into top play earlier. Whoa, crazy, crazy. What was it? Wait, what? How much did you get? Actually, should I get some small maps? I need more like 4.4 maps. Down, 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 down. Do you play League? Me? No, I've never played League of Legends. Oh, there's a Tycho map as well. It's not giving me vibes. Not giving the vibes. Okay, that sounds vibey. So much vibes. So many vibes. 414? That's crazy. Congrats. That's crazy. Why is everyone so good at this game? I swear. I swear. I suck at this game. No. Yeah. Wait, it's okay. It's okay. It's done. It's dusted. Yeah. They have been told it's okay. It's okay. One more PP. Whoa. Whoa. Congrats. That's amazing. But one day I'll be able to be better. Honestly, I've only been playing for 2 hours and my wrist is already killing me. I honestly don't know how people can do it. Why does it go from a free? Okay, let's do a free start. Let's have a rest. Let's rest my wrist. It's okay. It's okay. It's all good. We live, we live, we learn, we lie. Ba 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 ba. Na, da, da, da. Ah, ouch. We did it. Woo! Whoa. Whoa, we did it. It's okay. We did it. We got B. We got B. 5 misses. Okay. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Thank you. I got this. I always got this because I am amazing. Also, my hands are really sweaty now. Like, literally 2 hours ago, I was complaining about how cold my hands were. But now my hands are sweaty. Like, TMI, but now they're, like, actually disgusting. They are, like, dripping in sweat. But that's the life that I have to live with being somebody that sweats a lot. I can't help it. Ew, it's not my fault. Like, I actually genuinely cannot help it. I can't help it. Like, not to be gross, but I actually can't. No. Like, it's actually genetic. It's genetic because my dad, when my dad was my age, he actually had the same thing. That he would just, like, he would just be sweating, like, have sweaty hands all the time. But when he got, like, a bit older, it went away. So my dad's like, you know, you just have to wait a few more years and hopefully it should stop and be better. Wait, I can't see. Hyperdroidus. Is the body where sweat as a form of temperature control in order to solve a soul. Excessive sweat, which means sweat more than usual. More than normal, yeah. Mine's particularly my hands that gets it really badly. Oh, yeah, it's literally the hands. Yeah, that's literally what my hands look like all the time. That's so funny. That's literally my hands. Like, this is why I could never, like, hold someone's hand. Because, like, I would just be wet all the time. It's so gross. Yeah. We're never gonna hold hands. This is why I have dogs, because with dogs, they're fluffy and I could just wipe my hands with them. Oh yeah, I normally have tissues on me all the time, so I can just like wipe my hands with like tissue or, you know, my clothes. Ew, no, don't hold my hand. Gross. Gross. Okay. I love this song. Actually, I don't even like when people go near me. I don't like hugs. I don't like touching. I don't like when people are just too close to me. I'm like, get away. I'm a big you can stay far away from me, as far away possible as you can. Like, I've never been a big fan of that. Kinda irks me a bit. Oh, I think I missed a lot. Yeah, I missed quite a bit. Oops. Is the country far away now? No, you gotta be further. You know, you gotta be on another planet, actually. I think, you know, maybe if you were on, like, Mars or something, that's, that's fine with me. See a video. Too flashy. Also, I've just taken my glasses off, so let's see how that goes. Da, 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 da. Wow, thank you for the follow. That is a big name. Ozzy. Thank you for the follow. That is a lot of ones and zeros. Very interesting. Very interesting. Don't think they'll have good internet. Well, me neither. I don't have good internet either, so I guess it'll be kind of relatable. Elon Musk. Exactly. Exactly. I mean, gonna be rich. Money for that. Oh, sad. You should decipher your name. Why don't you just go into a translator and just copy and paste the name? I'm not gonna do that though because I don't live that life. Wait, did I make my personal best? No! Wait! Oh! I didn't realize I left no fail on! I didn't... No, I left no fail on. I didn't even realize. Ah! I wouldn't have been that... I don't think I could do that. Oh. No. It's fine. I probably fell off of the other song as well, and I just didn't even like register. Well done, me. I love this song. We don't have hundreds of billions money in the bank, I'd wish. Or it might, okay, what would you do if you had like so much money you didn't know what to do with it? Would you, okay, this is like a really deep question, but would you donate your money? If you were really, really rich, would you donate your money? I would. Like give your money to charity and like give it to those who need it. Buy all the Nintendo consoles. I mean, yeah, you could do that. But if you have that much money, you can just, honestly, you could give away so much money. Like, everybody could have a decent amount of money because you'd be so rich. Yeah. It's always a big dilemma. You probably would. I hope so. I hope so. Okay. Nah. Donate a part of it and the other to live a nice life. Okay, yeah. I think because if you'd have so much money, like, you could live a really good life with, like, I don't know. Yeah, say if you had £1 million, you could say, well, actually, no. Say if you're a billionaire, you could just donate all your money and, like, just live off, like, £1 million. And you could still have a good life with that. I mean, I think so. You can do a lot of £1 million or dollars or whatever currency you use. That's equivalent. Do 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 do. I love that song. You don't need to live in pure luxury, just a nice house and car and such. Not even the most expensive thing, just comfortable and enjoyable. Exactly. You could live a good life. Like, you know, you don't need to be like a millionaire, a billionaire. You can just live off like a decent wage, and yeah, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Wow. I'm just thinking about what I would do if if I donated my money and then like had some left over. I would probably have a small house anyway, because I like small things. Um, yeah, I don't need a mansion. Yeah, I don't need a mansion either. Even though my dogs would probably like a mansion, to be fair. Yeah, my dogs might need a mansion, but I don't. Give my dogs a mansion and I can just live. I can just live outside. It's fine. It's cool though. Oh, I would get a Fiat 500. I would love it. Like, dogs would go crazy. Full sprint in the hallways, yeah. And they'll have, like, They would have their own bedroom for my dogs. That. I mean, I know that sounds excessive, but knowing my dogs, they would love it. And then, yeah, if they honestly, if they had their own rooms, I know that Luna would still want to be with Caesar or be with us. Like, she's very clingy. She's a clingy girl. Go for a medium-sized standalone house with a large amount of land around. Oh yeah, land's good. Yeah, I would like to have land that, especially if there's like a river or like a lake nearby. That would be awesome. And so I can make a big nice garden, sit and enjoy the peace. Oh, nice. Oh, I would like a cow. I want a cow. If I had land, I would have a cow. Yeah, yeah, I want a cow. I think the reasons are obvious, but I would love a dairy cow. I wouldn't want to use the cow for meat because I want to use the cow for milk and cheese and dairy. Rose was casing. I know exactly why. Yeah. Yeah. Like I also like I wouldn't have the heart to kill an animal, like especially like I would be too mortified. Uh, I'm known you longer than today. Crazy, crazy. That's crazy. Do 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 do. Oh my gosh, that was close. That was close. Uh, I, I was closest to nearly failing. Um, do 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 do. I won't be Dan the man. Uh, 23 hours. 23 hours and what? Uh, uh, I would, I would love, I would love to be a cheese farmer. Wait, why am I still on no fail? I swear, why did I keep putting myself on no fail? I swear I didn't do that. I swear I didn't do that. Did I do it? I'm so confused. What is going on? Okay, I'm not pressing anything. I'm gonna go on Psycho. I'm gonna go play on Psycho. Did you ever switch back? Wait. I don't know. I don't know. Let's play around in Psycho map. Summon an Oni. Okay. No mods. No mods. Okay, let's play. I don't remember. I don't remember. How long have I been part of this community in total? 442 days! That's crazy. That's crazy. Life's crazy. Dang. I think, Llama, I think you're longer, though. I think you're longer. Do, 553, yeah, 33. That's what I thought. That's what I thought. Oh my gosh. I need to wear my glasses because I can't see. I realized that I cannot see when I play Taiko without my glasses, and that is fun. Just a bit though. Also gotta go. Thanks for the stream. Take care. I'll see you guys later. Take care. Mama, enjoy your foodies. And I'll see you around. Ignore the accuracy. That's just because I cannot see. Which is fun. Oh, we should go deep. Oop. Also, head out. It's getting late. I hope you have a fun rest of your evening. Thank you. Have a good one. Take care. Bye. Oyasumi nasai. Ah, poo. Ah! Poo. Oh, no! Right at the end! Oh my goodness. Okay, that's actually... This was kind of sad. No, I got two... Wait, oh, 3 misses. Okay, but that was... I did beat my last score, so... I guess it can't be too bad. Yeah. Yeehaw. Okay. Oh, this was my accuracy was better as well. I had only 1 miss on that. That's crazy. Oh, hi Rebecca! Thank you for the luck. I hope you have a great day. I'm gonna look at some Tycho maps. Yeah. Oh, hi Chris! Thank you for the song. Oh my gosh, what have you... Also, how are you doing, Chris? I hope you're having a good day. Good to see you. Oh my gosh, I haven't played this map in ages. Okay, I'm gonna do the Mizukasha, and actually I might want to try it on Oni, because I need to recall this. Oh, thank you for contributing to the Getting Over Stream Challenge. I was good at lurking for most of the time. Oh, no worries, no worries. I appreciate it. I appreciate the lurks. I have to go somewhere soon. Oh, anywhere nice? I hope so. Oh, hope it's all good, and I hope you're having a good week so far. It is good to see you all. Okay. Oh my gosh, okay. Ah, 2 misses. That's so silly. So silly. I still got a B after all this time. No. I do like that song though. I did some silly misses, but it's still a catchy song. I think for the song, I'm actually gonna try it on the Oni, but I'm gonna try it. I don't know if I should try on easy or no fail. I might try it on no fail. When in doubt, struggle. And if I struggle reading it, I might switch over to easy or half time. We'll see. We'll see how readable it is. Okay, actually, I don't know. There was like lots of misses, but to be fair, I actually think that wasn't too bad. Yeah. I should have made my musical shoots I have. Do some HR. Money. I love money every day. Stretch. Okay. Oh, we'll probably play a couple more maps, I think. Because it's getting late and I'm tired. Okay. Yeah, let's go. still gonna be those two stinky misses. So stinky. Ugh. Oh, actually, I think I did better. Oh, okay. Did I? Oh wait, that's actually no. I think that's actually really close though. Look at their scores. They're so close with each other. Less than 100. That's so funny. But my accuracy was better, so nice. Okay, let's try that again. Whoa. Did it better, bro. Whoa. 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 Wowie. Okay, what should we end? What should the final song be? Oh, that's a hard one. I need more harder Musakashis. I don't have that many hard ones. I used to have like quite high 4 stars. Okay, we'll do that one. The highest that I have right now. I'll need to get some more in the future. But for now, let's do this. Let's try and get an A. I reckon I can. Oh, hi, Oats. Hi, Oats. How you doing? Oh my goodness. Hi. I forgot to Osu today. Oh my goodness. Have you not Osu today? Wait, I need a drink. No Osu for you? Oh no. I gotta be still stinky. Oh, that's a shame. But how you doing though? You're good? That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Oh, also, do you have any snow where you live? Because I have no snow, and I'm like asking every person. It's like, oh, do you guys have snow? Do you have snow? You did? Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh, the college has been like, oh no, oh no. Oh, you got this though. I know it's pain in the butt right now, but it'll be good. It'll be good. You gotta get through the grind to where you want to be. Um. You don't know? Oh, you don't know. You don't know if it snowed. Okay. Okay. I see. I see. Ah. Yeah. I really want snow. I am a big fan of snow, and I'm just really jealous of everybody who's like doing stuff right now. Oh, witnessing it. Uh, itself is fine, but just adjusting back into the schedule. Oh yeah. Oh, is this your first week back? Also, we're gonna finish up soon. um, 'cause I'm actually quite tired. To be fair, I'm quite tired. I have been at work today, and I am pretty tired. My eyes are actually feeling really heavy. Oh my god. I'm like trying not to fall asleep while I was playing that map, to be honest. Oh, it was your first week back. Yeah. Yeah. It can honestly, like the first week back can be a little bit chaotic. But once you get back into the routine, it'll be better for you. You just yeah, it's just getting back into routines. It's like that with a lot of the children right now at my work as well. Because they've been away for like a week. Um, they're getting back into routine too. Especially, I think it's like more so with the younger ones. Because like the younger children probably won't remember as much. So it's just like helping them adjust. And also we have new children in as well. And like that's also what we're going through. Well, I'm going through because I have the new children, which is great. No, it's just tiring. But you know, despite the age, you can be a toddler, you can be a child, you can be a teenager, or you know whatever. Still making adjustments to get into a routine. It's a challenge despite the age. That's what I was trying to say in a long-winded way. I could not do it. Honestly, okay. Especially younger children. That's pretty much I pretty much deal with the really young children. They're nice. I actually quite like them. Um, it's a handful, but it can be fun. Um, but yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of work, but they're cute. They're cute and they're funny, and they can say some really funny things sometimes, and they're very honest. They're very honest, so they will point out anything. But I like to paint my nails. Um, so I like to paint my nails like quite a bright color, or like you know I always like to paint my nails essentially, and they every time I come into the school with a different color nails, they always notice, and they're always like, oh, why are you okay? So today my nails are green because I painted my nails last night, and I went in today, and they're like, oh, why are your nails green? And I was like, oh, you make it into a game. It's like, oh, it's a secret, and they're like, oh my goodness, and they're really excited. It's really funny. Yeah. I remember going to school for a work experience. Oh, how did it go? uh, it's yeah, it's not for everyone. Also, you're here. Hi, Llama. We're actually just about to finish. We're just having a little chat, and then we're gonna finish up because I am tired. But I hope you had nice dinners. What did you eat today? Um, I hope it was something yummy, yummy in your tummy. Ouch, ouchie, ouchie. Am I too close? Am I too close? I think so. and I'm wiggling a lot, to be fair, as well. One child kept going up to me constantly, which I don't mind. The children will do that. They have no like self-aware. They're just like they don't care. That's funny though. Oh, we made chili and it was amazing. Nice, nice. Oh, oh, I had cheese. Wait, you'll be happy to hear, but I had cheese toasties for dinner. Yeah, that's why. That's why I'm the way I am, because I'm just so cheesy. Also, how before I leave, let's do one final. How cheesy am I? Okay, 626. Okay, that's okay. I was dealing with year freeze, so it wasn't too bad. Oh, okay, year freeze. Okay. Oh, okay, that's not too bad. Okay, at least say like they're quite like competent. They're capable of doing things on their own, you know? So that's not too bad. What cheese oh cheese toasties? What do you mean? Oh my gosh, cheese toasties are just like okay, so like you know cheese sandwich and they're just toasted. That's a cheese toasty. I'm so surprised. Have you never heard of a cheese toasty before? They're delicious. They're delicious and they're yummy and they are amazing and I love them. Yeah. I'm so surprised you don't know them. I'm actually surprised. Grilled cheese. Oh no. No, the American name. I cannot allow that. Oh my goodness. Well, essentially that, but I call them cheese toasties. I think most of the UK call them cheese toasties as well. Yeah, cheese toasty is better. Yeah, you're British, so yeah. See, exactly, exactly. See, we have the better name. We have the better name. Toasted cheese is superior. It's delicious. It's so delicious. I love it so 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 much, and it's just it makes me scrummy dummy in my tummy. Oh, okay. We are gonna read. Yeah, we're gonna read tonight. What we're gonna read today? Crazy. We're gonna read Simply Misty. They're playing a really interesting game, and also, they're a wholesome VTuber, so it should be quite nice and calm vibes to end this Tuesday on. Um, if you say so. But yeah, yeah, we're gonna make them. And be sure to send lots of cheesy love. And I will see you around. I will see you on Saturday. Thank you for being here today. I appreciate it. Lots and lots. Be sure to check out my socials. And I will see you around. Send you lots of cheesy love. And yeah, good night. Good night. Oyasumi nasai. Bye. 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 Thanks for the stream. Thank you. Thank you. Bye. 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 Bye.
Hi! Hi, Ssumbaka! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the cuties. Hi! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in.